everyone, this is the tutorial for Take Me to the River. My name is Billy from Piano and Pies. Let's get stuck straight in. So this is a tutorial for the Lorde version of it that's just been released. If you want the exact original version, there'll be a video somewhere about that. However, this is for her version, so there may be some differences. So let's jump in. What we're going to do is kind of combine the bass guitar part with the electric guitar part. We're going to play some power chords, and we're going to start with this. I'm looping around three chords, three power chords. There's an open power chord, which is 0 and 2. Then a typical power chord shape, 2 and 4. Then 3 and 5. Then I go back to 2 and 4, and then 0. And watch slowly how I move between them. Now you'll play that through 3 times, then on the 4th time we cut a bit earlier and go to 2 chords. We go, and those 2 chords are D major and A major. To build a D major chord, we have an open D string, 2 on the G, 3 on the B, 2 on the high E string. We then have an A major chord, which is an open A string, 2, 2, 2 on the D, G, B, and an open E string. And what we do is play the first 2 power chords, D, A. So I'm going to play through that full introduction. It's what I played at the very start of the video, but I'll play it a little bit slow so you can see how I move between them. There's a 2nd time, 3rd time, here we go. That's the introduction, which is also going to help us out with the first verse, which is slightly different, but basically more of the same. Let me explain. What we do is we take that last bar that we tried, and basically just cut it down a little bit. So we play once round those power chords, then the last bar of the introduction, D, A. If you do that 4 times, you get the full first verse. We then get to the pre-chorus part where things do change. It's worth mentioning that if you would like the chord chart for this, as well as the chords and the lyrics matched up, head on over to Patreon. There's a link in the description. It saves you from trying to memorize it or write it down and maybe make a mistake. So yeah, check that out, it's just a few dollars. Anyway, jumping into that pre-chorus, we have some sustained chords. C major is the first one, which is 3 on the A string, 2 on the D, an open G string, 1 on the B, and an open E. We then have a G major chord that we're going to sustain, 3 on the E, 2 on the A, 0, 0, 0, and then a 3 on the high E. The third out of the 4 chords is an A major chord, which we've already discussed. And then we have an E minor chord, which is an open E, 2, 2 on the A and D strings, 0 on the remaining strings. Now let's talk about how long we hold those for, and basically 4 counts on each. We have C, 1, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, however, E minor 2, 3, 4, E minor again, 3, 4. We then get to the chorus part, which is basically the same as the introduction and the verse. We're going to loop that round several times for the full amount and for the full structure. Like I said, head on over to Patreon. However, at the very end of that chorus, we lead in with that at the very end, which gets us back into another verse. Now the second verse, exactly the same as the first in terms of the guitar part. You're going to play that 4 times round. We then get to a pre-chorus that is exactly the same as before with the C, G, A, and 2 lots of E minor. Do that exactly the same. We then get to another chorus, which is mostly the same. You're just chugging away that 8 times round, but don't put the D and A at the end of it. We then get to a bridge, which is different. And what we have is a C sharp minor chord. Now C sharp minor we're going to play as a bar chord, so you're going to bar from the A string downwards from fret 4 with 6, 6, 5 on the D, G, B. Going to play that for a bar, and then take that same shape, move it up a string and then along a fret to fret 5, and that is an A major chord. We're going to cycle between those 2 chords like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, and again, 2, 3, 4. Then we go to a G major chord, 2, 3, and again, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, and last time. And at this point we're starting to get way more repetition. Just looking to my notes, we have another chorus which is the same as the very first chorus. We have a third verse which they on the track have lots of gaps in between. So you can either have silence for several bars or you can keep playing. It's exactly the same, they just sometimes miss out that part and play just the D and the A chords. We then get another pre-chorus, thankfully exactly the same as all the C's, G's, A's and E minors as earlier. And then we have a chorus and an outro, which is just more of that chugging. So that's going to get you through the full song. So if you do want the full structure, so you've got it all wrote out professionally, there's a handy PDF over on Patreon, you can check that out, as I mentioned earlier. However, I just want to say thanks to the people on the screen. Those are my active patrons. They get the content that I mentioned over on Patreon the moment this video goes live. So thanks to them and thanks to you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.